What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines, the town of Portsmouth. Let's play Season 7, Episode number 6. And I think it's time to get started on our little downtown area over here. Now, there's a couple things that we want to do. One thing is there is a road that kind of connects over here. And I just want to do kind of a little placeholder. Because this is going to be a two-way street that kind of comes across here. This little bridge kind of cuts across this island. And when it dumps down into this area, it's actually kind of a one-way split that comes through here. So we'll do something like that. We'll reverse the direction over here. And again, this is just going to be placeholders at first. And then I want to come out through here. Actually the opposite direction, but that's okay. And let's come over. Geez, I don't know. Let's actually spread this out a little bit more, because what it should be. Let's see, we can always change the orientation of this after the fact. Because what this should be is right about here. This should come around that way. This will probably come down, what is this, 30? 1200? Yeah. 30, so we'll do that, and then this will actually come over this way. Sorry, I'm just kind of talking myself through this. So something like that. Whoops. Nope. Something like that, where you have this one way that kind of loops around. So let's bulldoze this. Let's straighten this out. So where's kind of the midpoint? Right there. So let's just do that as a placeholder road. Like so and like so. And then we're going to have a little one-way freeform, something like that. Let's see how it'll let me do this. So let's just do that, and then we'll move it. So that way we've got this ability to turn around here. How wonky is that? It's a little wonky. But I think we can deal with it. And then let's delete this. And come off there with a two-way street. Or a one-way that will upgrade after the fact. There we go. So we'll fix this after. This is definitely fix it later with this road in the water. But this is kind of a really important part of the downtown, is this one-way loop. And then we've got these streets that kind of come up through here but don't connect on the other side. So we'll do something like that. And then over here, I'm still not sure what we want to do here, but I think we can connect this, kind of connect this straight up. And then we can come through here. So again, we're not doing one-on-one, but we're definitely borrowing some inspiration from town of Portsmouth. So we'll leave just a tiny little spot in there. Connect to that intersection. We'll do a couple streets through here. Something like that. So this is a really small town. We are at 11,000. I'm playing on 1x speed right now. I guess I don't really need to be playing it all with $1 million in the bank, because this is all going to be about the setup for the next episode, really. So we'll get a little bit of gridding through here. Let's see, we'll delete those, and then we'll come through like that, just so that there's not four-way intersections everywhere. Space out these intersections on these streets a little bit. What I think we should do here is kind of get this connected back up. And then down here, I think I mentioned this before, is that there's technically a traffic circle over here, which is going to connect this neighborhood to this area to this area. But this is kind of where all the row houses and townhouses are going to be. We'll come down through here. And I did not do a very good job, it looks like, cleaning up some of the digital edges here from the height terrain, the height import from Terrain Party. So I'll soften that up a little bit. But I think we should come through here and maybe have a port or something. Some kind of shipping building. Come in a little different. We'll come in that way and kind of hook it in towards the end of the island. And I did add, I'm trying to think, I might have done a couple things off camera. I was screwing around with some ideas and did the keys here. I might have done that off camera after we built this neighborhood up. And then we needed power, and we had just unlocked it, so I dropped in our first solar updraft tower so that we can start relying a little less on that stuff that's causing all the pollution. You can see we don't have a lot of water flow on this map, and that's my fault. It's my first map. I didn't necessarily design it perfectly. I'll learn hopefully from my mistakes. But you can see we've got the sewage has been moved up here. It's kind of pooling up here because it doesn't really flow. But you can see that thanks to this water outlet, we're slowly moving that out. So what we could do, we've got money in the bank, so let's do some keys. Landscaping, water, and keys. And try to think, let's delete this. Let's see if I can bring a key around, and then can we mount? Let's delete this and that, and let's see if we can hook this around accordingly. So this is going to give us some sharper edges to deal with on the shorelines. Let's see if, I don't know if it's going to let us get under this bridge. Looks like it will. But that way we can build here kind of right up on the water's edge, which is really kind of what we're going for. This downtown area of Portsmouth is really... It's not going to let me do that one. So let's bring that around. Alright, we'll come back to that, but that definitely is a little bit better. Can we slap a water outlet on that? That was my original question. I guess I should check that out before we get too far ahead. So there's the water outlet. You can. Excellent. So let's get that connected back in. Hopefully that's close enough to get powered. I would think that it is. And then we've got little bits here like this that we can smooth out the terrain a little bit if we want that key wall to be a little bit more on the sharper side, because right now we've got some land creeping up on it, like up here. But that's, I mean, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So how are we going to get this? This has been a little finicky through here, so let's see what we can do. Where was it going to let me? Come on. Let me throw it back on. Looks like I got my day-night cycle turned on. A little easier to see stuff during the day. So that is not quite right there. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, let's delete that segment. So we'll come smooth all this out and tweak it a little bit here and there, but I just wanted to kind of get a rough feel for it. I think I have Key Anarchy installed and forgot to enable it, so maybe I'll come clean up some of these rough spots that I've missed after the fact. Let's get a couple more pieces of this in, at least on this side of that major road through there. Let's see if we can get this to connect. There we go. That works. So it's still like a little rough in spots, right? Like we've got, when you look right here, kind of got these sharp angles, and we could, you know, shift them around a little bit and use move it to kind of bend them back and forth. But I'll fine tune that. We don't need to do that right now. Just to kind of give us a tighter shoreline, and then we can come in here with something like the smoothing tool and turn the strength down, size up a little bit, and just kind of soften the shoreline outside of the keys, just to bring that down a little bit so that when we go into regular view, hopefully that will do the trick. Got a little bit of water creeping up there. That's okay. That should dry up pretty soon. When I was doing this, I definitely kicked some water up onto the shore, so I threw in a pumping service just because all these houses were about to move in by the shoreline. I think we're going to start to see the occasional landscaping mishap flooding buildings, so it's a good idea to have that in there. Let's see. Let's get this done, and then we'll worry about... So, if you look at the real Portsmouth, let's see, how can I do this? I think I can actually share this real time here. Hold on a second. So there's Google Earth, and this is what we're kind of trying to recreate. So this kind of area you see on screen here, let me really zoom in on the piece that we care about. This right here, as you can see, it's kind of all townhouses and row houses, and I've got a really cool New England church that I think is going to fit this motif really well. But you can see it's very, you know, connected buildings, row houses, the Euro houses, New England townhouses, and row houses that I've made part of the collection should really do the trick there. So that is kind of this area here. Let me orient it, I think, the same way that I'm trying to use City Skylines controls in Google Earth, and it's not quite working. But that kind of quote-unquote big downtown area really only encompasses a small part of this peninsula. So if we jump back over here, actually, let me capture correctly that way. So we want to extend this down a little bit and fill in a little of this to the shore, but this stuff over here is more where the lower density residential that kind of lives on the outskirts of the big downtown area. Here you can see I've unfortunately kicked up some water thanks to that that modification I did on the other side of the shore. These quay walls are pretty high, but you can see that they get a little low over here, so we could raise these up a little bit. But again, that's something that I will tune and tweak and fine detail offline. Basically, you can do the same thing that you do with Move It Mod and Roads. We can highlight individual nodes. So like that, hold shift, highlight multiple nodes. Like so. And then I can click the height, align height, pick the thing that we want to align it to. And then we get a little bit more safety, a little bit more clearance there. You can see where it starts to dip down under the bridge, which is a good thing because we have the clearance. Kind of makes sense that it would do that. But let's get a couple more streets just to get this kind of set up. And I think here we'll kind of follow this out along the shoreline. Like that, maybe? Let's do that. And then there's kind of a road that kind of comes from here and becomes a kind of a... Whoops, I can't go that far. We don't have that tile yet. But that kind of breaks off from the grid, and then you have neighborhoods kind of spinning off of that. So let's come down... I don't know, let's say... Nope, I'm going to do straight tool. We'll come down another 12 units or so. Maybe we can get a pedestrian path in there. Like that. But this is going to handle a lot of traffic coming into the area. So you've got your highway exit here. Diamond interchange. Comes down this way, crosses this bridge, which I did... kind of cut it out of the last episode. I put a really funky bridge in here. It wasn't quite lining up the way I wanted, and I changed it so it's a little bit, makes a little bit more sense here. I don't even know where this car is coming. Is that a pumping truck? Did I have water down here for it to pump? Maybe. Somewhere. But I think this is going to give us a good start here. Let's get one more street maybe that connects through here. Like that, maybe? And can we get one more little avenue right there? This should be okay. We can always push this back if we wanted to a little bit to really get up on the shore. But where it's most important really is around here and around here. And this, again, maybe we'll push this back a little bit, but you know, some of these in real life, some of the buildings here are really kind of up against that area, right on the edge of the water. But I think this is going to give us a nice little look at kind of what to expect. So let's do this. We'll break out our district painting tool. While we've got it out. What? What the heck? We had a lot of fires happening. What is going on?
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
All right, well, hopefully it's the consequence of having all these trees on the map. So what was I going to do? I was going to come over here and paint this district because this is one of the first ones that we should have named. I did paint this district off, but the game crashed a couple episodes back, and I never went back to rename this. So this one, for staying true to Portsmouth, is called Atlantic Heights. And actually, somebody commented that they grew up in this neighborhood, so I'm glad that you are you're watching the series. I hope you're enjoying. Man, the fire department very hard at work on this episode, or maybe not working hard enough. Honestly, I mean, come on, there's entire blocks burning down. Can we contain this, please? If this next building goes with the green billboard, I'm just going to go ahead and bulldoze this one to prevent the spread. But that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad fire. Looks like we didn't lose any buildings, though, so I guess I take it back. You guys are working just hard enough. Here, I tell you what. You know what? Budget. Where are they at here? I turned off auto budget for them, so let's at least get them up to 100%. A few extra bucks in your paycheck for that terrific work you're doing. Although I do have to wonder if the fire marshals were responsible for getting that extra 5% bump. Hey boys, light a few fires until they give us our full check. You know, that kind of thing. Ask Kung Fu and Decoy, they know what I'm talking about. Alright, so I think this is a pretty good spot here. Let's do this. Let's district. I think this is going to be good. We can trim this back after the fact. But let's make sure all this potential zoning is covered. I realize now that I should probably go to the water on the right-hand side of the screen. So let's do this from like these streets here. We'll kind of make that also our downtown area. Letting it play slow just so we can build up some zoning demand. So something like that. And then can we come through here with a couple of straight streets? That's pretty good. Carry that down. Kind of try and maximize some of our zoning through here, and then we'll take these off at an angle. So we can do that. And I think that's going to be pretty good. So what do we want to do here? So the main kind of area downtown, the main kind of commercial focus is going to be kind of along this strip, right? And then in and around here. So this kind of, we're not going to zone right here. This is just for turnaround purposes. So let's do that. Let's get all, what is this zone right here? What does it think this is? I'm not going to zone that. That's just not right. So let's assume that this is all going to be commercial back through here. Oh, you know what? I didn't mean to do that yet. Didn't mean to do that yet. We're paused. We're paused. We're not moving people in yet. We are not moving people in yet. Got a plan for that. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Okay, so we've got a decent amount of demand, so we should be able to see it move in pretty quick. But that's a good little commercial pocket there. Let's do commercial over here also. So we'll do all that, and then we'll tuck in, I guess, a few more. So kind of all along the main strips, right? We want that to be commercial. But now let's get some residential in through here. So for this one, we are going to do high density, I think. Hold on. All right, so I've actually got to double check something, and I'll do that before we zone. But I got to check whether those townhouses and row houses are all high density or low density. I'm assuming they're high density, so let's paint some of this zoning in. And we'll do a couple blocks here. Now, we don't have any offices yet, and we do have row houses, kind of Euro-style houses that can be office space. So that will work. So we'll do that. I think we'll do some more residential here on the other side. And then let's see. So maybe more commercial strip down along this street. What do we have the most need for? Residential. So we'll fill all this in for now. We can always shift things around later on. But I think this is going to give us a pretty good start. We'll commercial on the outer edge here. Little commercial block in this way. And then residential on the sides. Like so and like so. All right, so so that was too many so's. Like so and like so and so. I think this is a terrific spot to hit play. Actually, let's do one thing first. So that's specifically a Church of Boston, which looks very similar to the one that we have in Portsmouth. So let's drop this one in. And I think we're going to put it... Let's put it very central to the town. So you have kind of this one-way flow around here. If we look at our roads, you have this one-way flow. And that takes traffic across the river into Maine, into Kittery. This is called Badger's Island right here, this little island. But there we go. That's the only building that I feel like I have to plop, is the church specifically right there. And that's not a bad... It's not a bad rendition of it. Let's look at the other one. Just to see. And see what we think. So those are the two that I have. The Old North Church in Boston and a generic New England church. If I bring back display capture, and let me zoom in on this for you. So you can see that the what is this called? The North Church of Portsmouth does have kind of a brick bottom with a white tower. So if we wanted to stay kind of true, I feel like this one is a little bit more color scheme wise, but I think this one's better kind of size wise. It's a smaller church, so we'll go with that one. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I should have gone with the other one. This church or the brick church. So New England Church or Old North Church. Let me know. But with that out of the way, let's click on the district. We'll go to the district themes tab. We'll say enable theme management for the district and turn on Portsmouth downtown. See my network expected. Not all buildings are loaded. Oh, okay. So what'll happen here when I hit play is that it's going to force all of the buildings to pull from that pool that I've created, and those have all the custom assets, the row houses, the townhouses, the built-in Euro rows that are part of the European districts that you might create as part of the base game. So when we hit play, it's going to zone up all those different buildings, and we're going to try and do what we can with just the default zoning. We're not going to try and plop everything down here. We're going to see what the game will do for us. But we're going to see that on the next episode. So that was Downtown Part 1. To actually see it come together, what I thought would be really fun is to do what we did for the premiere of this season. So live stream Sunday night at 9 o'clock will be a console build. We'll do it for about an hour. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday night, we're going to premiere Monday's episode, which will be this downtown kind of filling up and zoning out, and we'll tweak and improve and see if the theme manager was set up correctly. But one way to find out is tune in on Monday for episode 7, Downtown of Portsmouth Part 2. So unfortunately, I'm leaving you with a teaser today, but I thought that would be a great way to hopefully drive some traffic and get some people over to the premiere Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Tune in. We'll all be able to watch it at the same time. Tune in at 9 if you want to watch and chat live on the live stream, the console build. We'll do a premiere at 10 o'clock, though. Everyone will see it at the same time, so join in the live chat and let me know what you think about Portsmouth Downtown. I hope you can make it. Until then, though, likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe and consider hitting the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. Follow me on Twitter and join the Discord if you want to get involved in the discussion. And remember to tune in at 10 if you can make it on Sunday to see Downtown Part 2, and we'll see it all fill in and see what mistakes I made in the theme manager. But until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.